Bihari Madhava Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Tiravana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Munati Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Madhava Kunja Bihari. Yeah, so since today is auspicious disappearance of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Srila Prabhupada, will sing Jayani Lo Premadhana. Jayani Lo Premadhana Karuna Prachur Jayani Lo Premadhanam Karuna Prachur Jayani Lo Premadhanam Karuna Prachur Jayani Lo Premadhanam Karuna Prachur Hina Prabhu Kotha Gela Acharya Thakur Prabhu Kotha Gela Acharya Kaha Mora Swarup Rupa Kaha Sanatan Kaha Dasa Raghu Natha Patita Pavan Asaragunatha Patita Pavan Kaha Mora Bhatta Juga Kaha Kaviraj Eka Kale Kotha Gela Gora Natara Aj Kale Kotha Gela Pashane Kutibo Matha Anale Pashibo Kutibo Matha Anale Pashibo गौरांग गुणेर निधि कोथा गेले पाबो से सब संगीर संगे जे कैलो बिलास संगीर संगे से संगना पाया कांदे नरोत्तम दास संगना पाया कांदे नरोत्तम दास जय नीलो प्रेम धन करुणा प्रचुर प्रेमाधना करुणा प्रचुर हे न प्रभु कोथा गेला आचार्य ठाकुर जय आचार्य ठाकुर जय वैष्णव ठाकुर वैष्णव ठाकुर जय वैष्णव ठाकुर वैष्णव ठाकुर जय वैष्णव ठाकुर श्रीला भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती वैष्णव ठाकुर 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 जय श्रील भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर गोस्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय श्रील भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर महाराज तिरुभाव महामहोत्सव की ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितां सुतं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमां विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं परमानंद माधवम श्री चैतन्य ईश्वर हरे कृष्ण I seek blessings of all devotees so that I can speak something glorifying Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Today is a very special day. So as we know that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur he is known as Simha Guru, so, the prominent personality in our sampradaya. So today we'll discuss a little bit about his childhood and the activities he did before accepting sannyas, and then few of the pastimes after accepting his sannyas, and especially around his qualities, how he was a revolutionary, very strict, as well as compassionate. So as we know that Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur Maharaj has appeared as a son of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Jagannath Puri. When he was born, his father gave him name Bimala Prasad. So in Jagannath temple, there is a tradition wherein after Lord Jagannath, honors, he takes prasad, it is first offered to Bimala Devi, and then only all the devotees, they can partake the prasad. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur considered Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakur as the remnants of Bimala Devi. So in his childhood, he was very scholarly, very determined. We know that famous pastime wherein once he ate a mango and his father said, hey, it was not offered to Krishna. And he said, okay, I did this mistake. I'll never eat mango in my whole life, again. And that was as a 5-year-old kid making a vow, which he followed. And later, when some disciple used to bring mango who were not aware of his vow, he used to say, I am an offender, I cannot take this. Yeah. So, in his childhood only, he started exhibiting the qualities of an great personality. When he was a baby, like 6 months old, Lord Jagannath's yatra was going on, and the car stopped in front of his house. Bhaktivinoda Thakur was living on the Grand Road in Jagannath Puri. So Bhagavati Devi, his mother, took the baby Vimala Prasad on the cart, and as soon as the baby was touched to the lotus feet of Jagannath, a garland fell down in his neck. Yeah. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur was very happy, that because he wanted someone to come and further this moment of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. As he grew up, he was very scholarly, he used to master any subject very fast, as well as he was very thorough with the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, because he learned it from Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So once there was a great debate between caste Brahmins and Vaishnavas, trying to figure out who is superior. Whether Brahmana is superior or Vaishnava is superior. So they wanted some authority to come and settle this debate. So they requested Bhaktivinoda Thakur to come, but on that day Bhaktivinoda Thakur was very sick. So he asked, this Bimal Prasad to go. And, very fearlessly, even, as a young boy, he presented the arguments that how Brahmanas are stretched. And all the Brahman communities, they were clapping, they thought, hey, he's from our side. I don't remember exactly, I think it's around 10 or 11, I guess, yeah. So, after that, after the half of his, talk, he started talking who is real Brahmana. And, all these were joyous caste brahmanas, their head started going down because, there were none of what qualities he was describing. And after that, he started glorifying who Vaishnava is. And they were completely flattened. And he openly challenged. Actually, it is said that there was 2 days debate after his talk. And he literally defeated, smashed everybody into pieces. And he asked, any other argument. Nobody could raise a hand. And the common public was so joyful. Everybody was clapping, cheering, and the Vaishnavas were obviously, joyous. Then all the people, they wanted to come and take dust from his feet. So there was stampede. So the police, what they did was, they washed his lotus feet in a bucket and threw the water on all the crowd. So that was his, charismatic personality even as a kid. But his father, when he told him that, material scholarships is not all in all, you need to find a spiritual master, and take, and he particularly instructed him that take guidance from Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, take initiation from him. So before, this, when he was young, he had written many books, and particularly on an astrology known as Siddhanta. So because of him, he was given a title, Siddhanta Sarasvati, But he very humbly approached Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, who was illiterate, requesting him for initiation. And he said, I am not qualified, you are, go somewhere else. But he said, no, if you don't accept me as a spiritual master, my life is waste. So Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj said, okay, next time I'll talk to Lord Chaitanya, I'll ask him. So after a few days again, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj went asked, that Bimal Prasad, young. He said, no, I did not ask him, And it happened a couple of times, some devotees say 5 times, some devotees said 13 times. But yeah, it happened quite a time. So at one point, when Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj said that, no, I don't want to, he said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said, I don't want to accept you as my disciple. He said, okay, then my life is waste. I'll drown in Ganges and end my life. So seeing that resolve, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj was very happy, and he said, okay, I'll initiate you. And he gave him name Varshabhanavi Devi Daita Das. So we have the pranam mantra of Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Daitaya Krupabdhaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayane Prabhave Namaha. Right. So that name was given to him by Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. And then he started staying in Mayapur and practicing severe austerities actually. After Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj left, there were many Babajis fighting for his body so that they can make a samadhi and then earn money. But, he very forcefully went there and he said, I am the only disciple and I have right on his body. So this Babaji said, you are just a brahmachari, Only Babaji can touch other Babaji's body. You don't have any right. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, okay, if any one of you doesn't have an illicit connection with a woman in last 1 year, they can come and touch body of Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. Forget about last 1 year, 6 months, 1 month, he said, 1 week. He said, even last 3 days, if you have not touched a woman, you can come and touch the body of Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. All day, everybody disappeared, And then the constable, they asked actually, how you will prove this? He said, I'll believe on their words, let them come forward. But he was such a grave and personality and such a purity, nobody dared. So then he established Samadhi of Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj and took a vow to chant 1 billion holy names. So like Haridas Thakur, every day he used to chant 192 rounds. He did that for 9 years. During that time,
how many hours each day?
22 hours, close to, yeah. And during that time, he used to stay in a thatched hut, and when it used to rain, he doesn't even bother to fix it. He used to just hold an umbrella and continue chanting. He used to sleep just on the ground. In the Chaturmas, he followed, he just used to sleep underground, like on the ground, no pillow. And he practiced something called as a cow eating, means he used to cook khichdi once a day, put it on the ground, hold both of his hands back, and then put your mouth down. Whatever comes, take it, and that's it, done for the day. So that he practiced for 9 years. And after that, he got a vision wherein all the, actually one of the, some devotees were requesting him that you please start preaching. But he used to be, he was very humble. He said, no, I am not qualified. But he got a vision that where all, like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Panchatattva, all the acharyas until Gaurkishodas Babaji Maharaj, they came and they said that you please preach, all of us we are there. You please preach this message of Lord Chaitanya. All of us, we are always there with you. And that was the time he said that, okay, I'll take a sannyas and preach. And now you see, how revolutionary measures he took. He saw that there was no God, like, his guru was not there. He doesn't have any god brothers to take sannyas from. So it was unheard of. He put a picture of Gaurkishodas Babaji Maharaj on Gaur Purnima day, and he himself took a vow of sannyas. And he gave himself name Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakur. So nobody can imitate, him taking sannyas himself. Yeah, he named himself. Yeah. And then he went to Calcutta, started at a small place called as 1 Ultadanga Junction Road. That was the place where actually Srila Prabhupada met Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And from there, he started widely preaching. He was revolutionary to such an extent that he understood importance of book distribution. So he had got his own press, and he started daily newspaper. Somebody was saying, what you can write about Krishna consciousness daily. He said there are enough activities going on in the spiritual world that every moment we can publish one newspaper. And not only that, that he even had his there was All India Radio, so in that he has own his time slot wherein he used to speak even on the radio. He was very strong against Mayavadis, Apasampradayas, caste Goswamis, so much so that these people, they wanted to kill him practically. And it is said that, of course, many details, but even just to emphasize that how Lord Chaitanya's teachings are important and they should be propagated, he took to the means which were not conventional. As a sannyasi, he did not mind wearing a suit, traveling in an ambassador car. It is said that when he used to take devotees for parikrama, like there were only 2 cars, ambassador, that is the brand, in India. One was with the British Viceroy and one was with Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So it was not for his own enjoyment, but to make sure that people don't take Krishna consciousness lightly. Once when he was on parikrama in Vrindavan, because of his strong stance against this caste Goswamis, many temples did not allow him even to come inside. And they used to throw stones on the caravan of devotees which was passing. So he used to have if you know this, we have these bikes, right? Bullet. So in India that brand is called Bullet. Here we have that Harley Davidson, something like that, right? So he used to have like, bodyguards with the guns in front on this, bullets. Behind there used to be this ambassador in which he used to sit, and behind there were devotees. He did not, budge for the pressure actually. So once when he was in Govardhan, one big police person, he came and he said that, this was in 1920s, he said that we have received a bribe of 25,000 rupees, in that time. And he said, for us it's common to take a bribe, and this bribe is for, he said that some of these people, they want to kill you. They said that we'll kill you. As a police, you just don't interfere in between, So he said, please be careful. So you just imagine the amount of threat he had for what? Speaking pure devotional service. But Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur never budged actually. He still continued, And he was so enthusiastic to preach that it is said that when he used to travel from Mayapur to Jagannath Puri in train, so at each station the disciples used to come and take a darshan. So he used to stand, like how many of us have seen Indian trains? You've seen? So there are doors and like you can stand, right, and the platforms are there. So the disciples used to come to take his darshan. So he used to stand on the door and give a lecture, give a lecture. And even the train driver and then, ticket collector, everybody used to come and, sit and hear that lecture. And that used to be at every stop, So the train journey used to be a satsang program, So it was just, he was not just like, kind of a waving hand or throwing flowers personality. No. He was so much about, speaking the tattva, no sentimentalism, There was one very famous Bipin Chandra Goswami, he was, he was godbrother of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So when he used to come and visit, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur doesn't even used to look at him. So, and he had a huge following, So Bhaktivinoda, he asked this, Bipin Chandra Goswami asked Bhaktivinoda Thakur, why he doesn't even look at me, So he said, he doesn't like Sahajiyas, Bhaktivinoda Thakur was little mild, but Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur never, never allowed actually, It is said that when he used to walk on the street of Calcutta, if the Mayavadis used to see him, they used to take a U-turn and run away. Because they just had two options, either accept defeat or get nice beating. There is no other option. So, so he has such an amazing spirit. Also, he was such a visionary that when this Gaudiya Math in Mayapur was established, he asked this British Viceroy, he invited him to come for inauguration. Now this British Viceroy said, oh yeah, I'll come, but I cannot eat what you eat, I need my daily stuff, meat and everything to eat. So he said, fine, I'll arrange for it. So he had brahmacharis dressed up in suit, serving on tables the non-vegetarian dish from this Viceroy. But, it was later to be understood that because he invited Viceroy, they made a big road from Calcutta to Mayapur, a nice road. So everything was arranged for devotees to come nicely. So he had such a vision. So he could, many times, he could take some actions which were like, little incomprehensible to immediately understand, but they used to reap a very nice result later. So he was always seeking essence actually, Once all the brahmacharis, they were taking rest on Ekadashi, So he asked what happened. He said, we are weak, are hungry, doing fasting, So he cooked khichdi, he made everybody eat, and he said, now okay, go do your services, So he understood essence is not doing fasting and laying down, but to do service, So, and he was very because he was such an astrologer, he was very great astrologer also. Many times he used to just walk around and he used to see somebody's face and he used to say, some brahmachari, okay, you go and get married. So this devotees used to be, very careful around, being around him. Yeah. It's also said that, once one of the brahmachari who was getting married, so Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur went to his marriage hall where the marriage was about to take place. And he said, no, you cannot get married, stand up, you have to come back with me in the ashram. So this girl's father, he was, what will happen to my girl now? He said, don't worry. And he looked at some other disciple, he said, okay, you get married, Now, and then that devotee whom he lifted, later on he became a sannyasi actually. And he had a nice matha in Jagannath Puri, and whenever he used to recall this, he used to cry, he used to say, my spiritual master saved me, So he was that kind of personality wherein, go and get somebody from marriage hall actually. So, also, like as the preaching went on, he, and we know, his meeting with Srila Prabhupada, how, he liked that Srila Prabhupada used to, when one of his disciples said that, okay, we want to recommend this Abhay Charan for initiation. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, yes, I know that boy, he likes to listen. So on the bank of Radhakund, when Prabhupada asked, what should I do, as a grahastha, how can I serve you? He said that whenever you get money, print books. He helped, when Srila Prabhupada helped his god brothers to establish temple in Mumbai, they requested that, can we make Abhay Charan as president? Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, leave him alone. He'll do everything when time comes. So, after, his preaching for many years, he established 64 Gaudiya Mathas all over India and 108 Padapeeth. So this Padapeeth meaning wherever Lord Chaitanya traveled, he established the lotus footprint like we have here, Srila Prabhupada's lotus footprint cast. So that way he established the footprints of Lord Chaitanya all across India. When he was in Chennai, current Chennai in India, he sent 3 of his disciples to London and Germany. So now for a sannyasi to travel overseas was unheard. But again, he understood that Prithvite Achayata Nagaradi Gram Sarvatra Prachara Huibe Moranam, that prediction is not for India. That is for all the town and villages of the world. So he sent his disciple and he asked them that if you want to be successful in preaching, you remember these 4 things. What's that? Trunadapi sunichena, taroriva sahishnuna, amanina manadhena, kirtaniya sadahari. So that was the formula he gave. They tried, they established, they had some, goodwill created. But he did not, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was not happy. He wanted to have the preaching, spread far and wide. And then later, towards his closing pastime, he saw that when the mathas were established, there were nice facilities. The devotees, started a little bit deviating. They were fighting over which room, which facility, who will get. So he wrote to Prabhupada, he said that there is a fire in the mathas, he said, So when there were no facility, everyone was very happy serving the Lord. But now, as we have this big marble temple in Bagh Bazaar, they are fighting which room, who will take. He said, I feel to tear down all this marble, sell it and print books. So you see that, we just had, this Bhagavad Gita marathon and, book distribution going all over the world. That all started because of this burning desire of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And though, he was so strict, he himself was very humble. Whenever somebody used to bow down, he used to say, Dasosmi, I am your servant. Many times when we introduce ourselves, we forget the Das part, but whenever somebody even used to greet him, he used to say, I am your servant actually. So that was the mood, though he was this, the Singha Guru. And his compassion was, for everyone. Once he went to inaugurate a temple in Bhubaneswar, and he saw one of the earlier devotees who had sent him, they were not present. So he asked what happened. So he said that particular devotee had some, fight with the management, and he left. He said that unless that devotee comes back, I am not going to inaugurate this temple. Inaugurate the temple, open the temple. So these devotees were like, trying to figure out where to find him. So they searched everywhere. That time there was no Facebook or Instagram. People don't used to put a status, I am doing this, right? So he said what he used to do, he said he used to repair watch before he became a brahmachari. He said go and search all watch shops. So in one of the watch shops he was, behind repairing watches. So then, when he was told that, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is not ready to open temple unless you come, this devotee was like completely melted. He gave up all the resentment he had, came running, crying, fell at the feet of Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And that time, he went ahead, with the opening ceremony of temple. So that was, his compassion. Still, there are so many pastimes, don't have already over time, but we'll end with like, two. Generally, there was a practice that there used to be Acharya who used to further the moment. But Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he was such a visionary, he understood that it's not going to work if we want to spread, at a large scale. So he had, before departing, he gave the instructions to all these Gaudiya Math that you form a GBC, Governing Body Commission, and you have these 12 devotees in it, and all of you work together to further this mission. And there is nice, documentation of all the instructions which he gave, how you should respect each other, serve each other, keep Lord Gauranga in the center. So he gave in detail instruction, but after his departure, unfortunately, the leaders at that time in the Gaudiya Math, they did not follow it. And whole Gaudiya mission was scattered, bits and pieces. And Srila Prabhupada, learning from that same mistake what his godbrother did, he very nicely established the GBC beforehand, and even going further, he kept the BBT separate from ISKCON, so that even if something happens to ISKCON, the instruction which he gave, which was received by him from his spiritual master, to print his books and preach in the language of, in English language, so that printing book is never hampered. We have Savas Prabhu so nicely taking BBT services and taking to new heights. So that whole ideas are coming from Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur actually. And though he has such an accomplished preacher, prolific writer, nobody was, close to him in terms of doing austerity or, his purity. But he was such an humble that in his writing we can see, he wrote this Krishna Haite Chaturmukha, that song, wherein he describes all the parampara, starting from Brahma Madhva Gaudiya. So in that, it's very nice. Those who don't know, please, see. Krishna Haite Chaturmukha, Hoi Krishna Sevan Mukha, Brahma Hoite Naradera Mati, Narada Hoite Vyas, Madhva Kahe Vyas Das, Purna Pragya Padmanabha Gati. So in this he is saying Krishna Hoite Chaturmukha means from Krishna came Chaturmukha Brahma. Chaturmukha Brahma, Krishna Hoite Chaturmukha, Hai Krishna Sevan Mukha. This Brahmaji becomes, the first disciple of Krishna, and Brahma Hoite Naradera Mati. Brahmaji's disciple was Narada Muni. Then from Narad Muni came Vyasdev, So like this he describes all the way till Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. And then when the time comes to describe his position, what he says? Ihara Paramahamsa Gaurangera Nijabamsha Tandera Charana Mamagati Ami Seva Udasina Namete Tridandi Dina Shri Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati. So he's saying that all these Paramahamsas are Gaurangera Nijavamsha. They are the eternal associate of Gauranga. And I take shelter of their lotus feet. And then his humility he is expressing Ami Seva Udasina. I am Seva Udasin. That means I am very dull, lazy in doing services. Was that the case? No. He was most enthusiastic. But Namete Tridandina. And I have taken this name, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, but I am a useless. So that, shows his humility. And, I'll end with this nice story that though he is very strict, he's very merciful as well. Once, His Holiness Indradyumna Maharaj, he was stating that he was Grahastha working outside. He wanted to, join temple, but somehow because of the responsibilities could not. So on the disappearance day of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, one devotee told today is this very auspicious day, you please pray to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So he said, okay. So he this young person, he used to work in a hotel, doing dishes. So he said, he kept a photo of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he cleaned the place a little bit, and on that basement he offered full-fledged obeisances, chanting pranam mantra, Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Namini, right? And when he was offering obeisances, his manager came and saw. He said, what are you doing? He said, this is today's, the auspicious day of disappearance of my Guru's Guru, my grandfather. This manager could not understand anything. He said, you are fired. And he said, that moment he came and joined the temple. I got immediate reciprocation, and then later we know that, how he took to the sannyas order and now helping Srila Prabhupada furthering his mission. So, of course, there are so many pastimes of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, but on this auspicious day, let's pray that we get the determination that he had to practice the teachings that he gave through Srila Prabhupada to all of us, and become sincere servant of his servants. As if we even get a speck of his mercy, that's enough to inundate us and take us back to spiritual world. Srila Prabhupada, some of his god brothers, they used to criticize him because of his, preaching, giving, Brahman initiations 2 months, and so many things. So there used to be some arguments between Prabhupada and some of his god brother. So one of the god brother was very critical of Srila Prabhupada, and when he left, disciple of Srila Prabhupada, they came to Prabhupada and they said that, he used to criticize a lot, don't know what would be his, destination now. So Prabhupada said that he has gone back to spiritual world. He said, don't underestimate my spiritual master. And on the disappearance day of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, when Srila Prabhupada was speaking, he was so grateful and he was crying and he was saying that I thank you all American boys and girls that you are helping me to fulfill the dream of my spiritual master, the order which he gave me. And he was so much grateful to all of us. Why? Because it was pleasing to his spiritual master. So, let's pray on this day that we become the sincere, serious and without any ulterior motive students of the teachings Srila Prabhupada has given. His Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakur Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki. His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Nitai Gaur Premanande.